Hi, it's Michelle from Bits and Pieces Paper Lab. Today we're going to do something just a little bit different. Usually I'm teaching you how to make cards with your Cricut machine and I have a whole video planned out, but today we're going to do something totally different and I'm going to just kind of wing it, which honestly is not something that I'm great at. Usually I like to have everything planned out, and so what we're going to be doing today is actually making a book journal. So I have three different journals that I ordered off Amazon, and I'm going to open these up. We're going to take a look and decide which one is best for what I want to make, and then we're going to go ahead and decorate it. And like I said, I have no plan. I'm just going to go with the flow. So I hope that you'll join me in this. Maybe it will inspire you to make your own book journal, or just a journal for anything. You can use the same concept for anything. So let's go ahead and dive in. All right, the first thing I want to do is decide which of these journals is going to be best for what I'm trying to make. So I ordered these off Amazon, and I'll put links in the description so that if you want to check them out, you can. Maybe the one that I pick isn't the one you would have picked. This first one, the brand is Paperage Blank Notebook. And I did try to get ones that were lined. I like to have at least that amount of structure. This one's super cute. It has kind of a cloth, well, it's not cloth, it's like a book bound journal. Oh, I thought I got lined, but I guess I didn't. But maybe that's okay. It kind of gives me a blank, fresh starting point. What's this? Oh, it has a little pocket in the back. That's fun. Okay, that's option number one. It's pink. Option number two, the brand is Taja. This one is book bound. This one is spiral bound. And this one is graph. I thought I got lined, but I guess it's been a while since I ordered these. So the graph is kind of fun. I also want to make a garden journal. So one of these is going to be a garden journal. One's going to be a book journal. Okay, this brand is, gosh, I don't see a brand, but I'll link it. And those others are smaller. This one is 8.5 by 11 size, and it looks like it's graph as well. I'm not sure what to do. I really like the spiral bound because it lies flat, but maybe that would be better for a garden journal. This one's kind of fun because it is totally blank. Well, I'm having a really hard time deciding. I thought this would be easy once I opened them all up. Okay, I think I'm actually going to go with the pink one with no lines on it. I think one of the things I want to do is I bought this cute stamp off Etsy that's little books. And I want to make little bookshelves on my pages. So maybe this one is the best option. Okay, final answer. But if you don't agree with me, I'll link all of them so you can choose a different one. So first of all, let me tell you what I'm doing. Ever since 2004, I have been keeping a book journal, and I love to read. I just have been writing in a little notebook, just like writing the titles of the books and then kind of giving them a star rating just so I can remember what I've read. And when people ask me for recommendations for good books, then I can easily look back and see. So I've been keeping it since 2004. So that's a long time. But I want to do something cuter. I wanted to kind of just move into a cuter option. So that's what we're going to be doing today, is building a book journal. And I have several kind of ideas just in the back of my head. Nothing's really fleshed out. So I've gathered some supplies. We've got our journal. I am going to be using the Simple Stories Noteworthy line. This has a lot of like office supply ephemera, like pencils and cute little stamps, just cute stuff. I thought it was kind of office themed. It would be good for books. So I've got a couple of ephemera packs, a sticker pack, and then a paper pad. Just really cute. I love the bright, happy colors too. And this kind of convinces me that pink is the right way to go for my book journal too. Okay, so I grabbed those, and then I had these random mint green doilies, so I grabbed those. I have this is an American Crafts DIY shop, these little library pockets. I've actually had these forever, and I did check to see if these are still available, and they're not. But Hero Arts has a cool die and stamp set that you can make your own. So I'll link that if you wanted to grab that. And then I shared my book stamp from Etsy. This is a Heidi Swapp. I think it's Heidi Swapp. No, I'm doubting. I'm not sure. I've had it forever. But I wanted something that had these little stars, like for my star rating. I'm sure you could find this in many stamp sets, a little star that you can color in. So that's the supplies that I have gathered. Now I did cut out of vinyl something for my cover, and then I decided, beyond keeping track of like the books I read, I have a couple other pages I wanted to do, so I did cut out some letters and some little sentiments for those pages, because I kind of have an idea what I want to do there. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and apply my little vinyl nameplate. And I'm using gold vinyl. My goal here is to like actually have fun with this and not stress about it being perfect. So I didn't even really measure to make sure this is straight. Just going for it. All right. Okay, cute already. All right, now let's talk about some of the pages I'm going to do inside. By talking about this, I'm kind of revealing what a huge nerd I am, but I really love to read. And so I have kind of a couple funny strategies that I use to find new books. So the first thing I want to do in the front of the book is do a to be read page, which would be where I'll just like document books I want to read. And I think I'm actually going to use the little library pockets for that. And the reason is that if I don't, I'll have a huge list with like cross-offs as I read them, which is fine. But I think I'm going to do them on these little pockets so that I can like check it off when I've read it, and then just like tuck the tags behind when it's like everything's crossed off. I just feel like it'll be a little neater. So I'm going to use that for my first page, which is my to be read page. And then another thing that I do that's fun, I think is fun, is when I'm reading books, I will look for other books mentioned within the books. And the reason for that, I guess, is in my head, I think if an author mentions another book in a book, it must be a good book. So it's kind of a little game I play, and sometimes I'll like start with one and then I'll read the whole book and then find mention of a book in there and then read that book and just kind of like make a chain on and on until I read a book that doesn't have a book mentioned in it. So I've done that in the past. I think that's kind of fun. So one of my pages is going to be books within books, where I'll keep a list of like what the original book was that I read and what book was mentioned in it, so I can check those off as well. And then the other thing I do is I sometimes will choose authors I just love, and I will read every single book that they've written. I actually in college was an English major, and one of the classes I took was a Mark Twain class, and we read like 42 Mark Twain novels in one semester. Besides the fact that I had to spend like so much money buying all those books, it was really fun. So I love doing that. So I like to just pick authors and I'll read everything that they've written. So I want to have a list of those. And then going forward after that, I'll probably leave a few blank pages in case I have other ideas, but then I'm going to work on like my years and document like what I've read for the year. So this is what it looks like now. It's just like kind of a hot mess. This is for 2025. I do listen to a lot of audiobooks. I read physical books, but listen to audiobooks too. So that's how I get through so many. It's only March. No, it's April. And I've read this many so far. When I'm doing chores or cleaning or something, I will listen to an audiobook. So I want to kind of replicate this in a prettier form. And I'm going to use this little stamp. I'm going to make a bookshelf. And then every time I read a book, I can color in a book just to kind of have a visual tracker of how many books I've read, in addition to writing down the title of the book and the author. So that's kind of my strategy. That's all I've planned out. That's it. So let's just go ahead and get started. So the first thing I think I'll do is I'm going to leave just a couple blank pages in case I decide I want to do like a fun title page or something like that. Now I did cut out these. I've got just basically a bunch of letters, and then I cut out the pretty scripty floral, foil word. So this is going to be to be read. And then I think I'll do like a library pocket on each side, like this. So let me first adhere this down. I'm trying to use as much glue as I can because as I mess with these pages, I don't want these little letters to lift up. And I am using Barely Art with glue, which has this precision tip, so it makes it easier to apply adhesive to tiny little details. So I think what I'm gonna do is get like the basic structure of all my pages done and put my letters on, and then go back and kind of decorate it. And I am not going to stress about the details. I'm going to make this fun and just get it done. I'm going to like skip 2 pages just to kind of, I'm worried that when I start inking things, it might show through. So if that's the case, I'll just put like pretty pattern paper on the back of these. Okay, so let's do complete the collection. Now I'm going to spell this backwards so that I don't have spacing issues. So let's hope I can spell backwards. This will be a challenge for my mental capacity. Whoops. See, I almost messed it up because it's complete the collection. And for spacing, I'm just lining up the tops of my letters, trying to keep those even. Okay, I got those words all glued down. I'm gonna skip some pages. I actually think the more I thought about this, there's a lot of pages in here. This might last me for a while, and so like let's say 10 years down the road, I'm still using this same journal. I could have a lot written here, so I'm gonna skip like several pages so that I've got room to fill that in. Okay, and then next is books within books. So let's see. Okay, and then I'll just do something decorative right here to fill this blank space. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and get that glued down. Okay, I got those all glued down. So like I said, I'll just decorate right there. And then we're going to skip a couple more pages. Let's see, so and this is where I'm going to start my yearly tracker. So I'm going to decorate this just a bit more than I was. I'm gonna find some cute paper here, make some layered. Ooh, I love that wood grain. There's so many cute ones in here. All right, I'm just gonna make like some little, like 1-inch strips. Actually, I'm gonna do them different widths because I'm gonna layer them on top of each other. This one has cute on the reverse sides too, so let's do that. Right. I'm just gonna cut like the pennant end, so you just snip in the middle and then cut from edge to the top of the snip and edge to the top of the snip, just like that. Again, I'm just like trying to go with the flow and freehand things a little bit. One of the best books I've read this year is Kristen Hanna's The Nightingale. I just absolutely loved it. It was really long, and so it like took me a long time to read it, but I really just enjoyed it so much. It's a World War II book about a pair of sisters and just everything they go through, and it's just really good. So she's going to go on my, Kristen Hanna is going to go on my authors I want to read all the books. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is just layer these up and then put my 2025 over the top. So I want these to kind of be different widths and overlap at different angles. Again, I'm going to use a lot of adhesive so that it will stay put down. Sorry, I didn't realize that was off camera. Let's do it like that. Okay, then I'm just going to trim off the excess. All right, and then I need some big 2025 letters. Let's see what's in my sticker set. Oh, these are cute. Let's use these. Looks like there's not that many of each number. Like there's happens to be two twos, but for next year I'll probably have to cut my own letters. Oh gosh, I already messed it up. You guys were probably yelling at me, telling me I was messing it up, and I couldn't hear. Now let's do, I'm gonna wait on my ephemera. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stamp my little bookshelf here at the bottom, and I think I'm just gonna run it. So the number of books I read every year really fluctuates, like what's going on in my life. So sometimes I'll read, like in 2021, I read 6 books the whole year. You can tell that was a busy year. 2020, I read 5 books. I don't know. I had a really stressful job back then, and so I had like no free time. But then like 2024, I kind of discovered audiobooks. I read 21 books. So I'm going to just see how many can fit here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if I do, I think I'll just stamp it 4 times, and that should be plenty. Now I'm using Memento ink, and the reason is because this will not bleed when if I color with markers, because I want to color these in. So this part stresses me out, just stamping on a blank book and hoping it turns out okay. Okay, good. But if I mess it up, it's going to be fine. I already decided if I mess it up, I'll just cut one of the little books out of pattern paper and paste it over the top. Oh, that didn't stamp all the way. It's fine. Everything's fine. So yeah, as I read a book, I'll just color in the book, or like for here, I'll cut out the book out of pattern paper. So while I'm at it, I think I'm gonna, just to help remind me, I'm gonna find a good piece of pattern paper that I can stamp this on. That it will show. Let's do the yellow. Okay. So now I'm just going to cut this out to remind myself that if I need to paste books in, I can. So I think what I'll do is grab like a ruler and just make lines here for myself, maybe in pencil, just so it's nice and subtle. So I've got, you know, kind of lines to write on. If I write pretty small, I can get a lot of books on this, but I'm wondering if I should just leave myself I'm going to just give myself some room in case I just go crazy and read a ton. I'm going to do a whole extra set of blank pages in between, just in case. Okay. So now I have these little offcuts here from the last one. This is the stuff that I trimmed off when I trimmed that to fit the page. I just trimmed it off. So I'm just going to add it here kind of like decoratively. And this will be 2026. These are cute, a little for the record. All right, I'm gonna just kind of do the same thing. Okay, and then same thing, we're just going to trim off the excess. And we'll save that for something else. Okay, now I don't have any more numbers, so for 2026, I think I'm going to fussy cut them out of this paper right here. I'll just use what I got. And then maybe for the following years, I can just get out my Cricut and cut some numbers with my Cricut. I actually really enjoy cutting little tiny things out. Do you guys like that? Fussy cutting. So relaxing. I could just sit and do it forever. I tend to read pretty much everything. Like it doesn't, I don't really like love fantasy, but I'll read everything else. And I have read fantasy. I love Harry Potter, but just some like the really elaborate fantasies, I just have a hard time getting into. But so Nightingale was historical fiction. I really love those. But then I read Julie Clark. I've read 2 of hers, and the last one I read was called, so the first one I read is called The Lies I Tell, and the second one is The Last Flight. And I won't give it away, but The Last Flight, it's about 2 women who like switch lives, and they're both kind of like running from something. And so anyways, it's just really good, and they really keep you on the edge of your seat. In fact, I was like reading them. I had Kindle Unlimited, and so I was reading on my phone, and I was reading till like 1 in the morning and then having to get up for work, which was not good. So finally I just was like, I just need to get this over with and read it because I can't control myself. So yeah, really good. And I think she has a new one coming out soon too. But I really recommend those if you like mysteries. All right, so 2026. All right, I've got my 2026 numbers and I've stamped along the bottom. So now let's go backwards and decorate some of these first pages. So I've got my To Be Read. I'm actually going to just dump out all this ephemera so we can really take a look. So many cute things. How do you decide? Well, I think right away, I think this is so cute. To add that little push pin right there. Oh, I found some more numbers in here. Maybe we can do 2027 as well. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's the 7. Oh my goodness, there's just so many cute ones. For the record, oh, that's definitely going on there. Oh, so many cute things. How do I decide? Okay, well, for sure I want, let's see, maybe we do this up here. I like that. Try to center that with the little library pocket. Okay, and then where did that push pin go? That was so cute. I want to put that on here. Oh, here it is. And for the record, there's also like a ton of cute stickers too. Okay. I'm gonna just go for it and start clustering. Is there another one like that? That would be cute. There's just a lot of cute ones. How about we'll just do like one of these. And we'll angle this off to the side. Well, since I dropped it, I guess it's going right there. See, this is why I don't like to just wing things, because I like to plan everything out. Okay, I feel like we need something else over here. I definitely want to use that big pencil. It's so cute. Let's put a little typewriter down here on the bottom. Okay, so that looks pretty good to me. Okay, so let's back up. So that's To Be Read. And then we have Complete the Collection. So for this one, I think I'm going to use the big pencil and the little Noteworthy. I think this is really cute. Maybe we'll do it down here, like down low. Like that. All right, I finished up doing my little clusters, and I was just going to do a final little walkthrough. So here is the front of the journal with the vinyl. And then I have done little clusters around the title, and I added these clip die cuts to the library pockets so they come in and out easily. This was just a large die cut that was so cute, and I didn't know where to put it, so I'm just tucking it behind there for now. And like I said, after I fill these up and like cross them off, I'll just switch these out. So that's my To Be Read page. And I have Complete the Collection, so this is where I'll note authors and all the books that I want to read. And I've just added some clusters in the corners with all that little cute little ephemera. And then I have books within books. So I already explained this, but I've just added some little accents and clusters on that one. I did start filling this out so you can kind of see how this looks. So I just used a stamp to do my stars, and then I'm writing the title and the author. And then for every time I finish a book, I'll just color in a book down on my little bookshelf. I wanted to mention these. These are from Amazon, Mr. Pen Sleek, and I'll put link these in the description. But they're actually, I think they're called Bible highlighters, but they're more like crayons rather than pens. And what I love about them is that they don't bleed through. So they're almost like chalky and they don't bleed. So anyways, that's a really good option for something like this where it's going to be double-sided. So I've started 2025, and then you can see I stamped stars on the back, being ambitious that I'll read that many books. 2026, you can see I added little clusters in the corner and put my numbers, and then I did also do 2027. So that is what I have so far, and then I'll just I'm going to tuck this ephemera pack in the back here with this little pocket, and then I'll have these so that I can decorate, every year when I start a new year. So thanks for joining me. I hope that this has inspired you to try something similar if you're a reader. And again, I'll put links to everything I used in the description in case there's anything that you wanted to grab for yourself. Have a great day and happy reading.